Welcome to 2020. We are here, Clerc podcast show at the Bark in Wyndham, second floor this week.
Second floor, I had to walk up the stairs.
I'll walk up the stairs.
Already doing the New Year's resolution.
Yeah, there we go. Everyone, good to be here. Good to have you here. First of all, we got Damon Wynant here, the co-host of the podcast. Great to have you, Damon.
Good to be here.
Good to be here with you in 2020. It's an exciting year.
It is.
Colin Clare, other co-host across from me here.
I don't think I've ever been on with Adam and Damon.
Oh, geez, the world's
I don't
colliding.
think I've ever been
This
on
is a
with.
rare
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah.
Dang, we all right.
Did you get any sleep last night?
Yeah.
Colin couldn't wait to get here today.
That brings us to the man who's back, Adam Farag, the other old co-host of the podcast. Adam, the last time you were on, you were saying was in July.
It was a whole decade
No
ago,
way.
Ethan.
Could not.
It was last year.
ago.
He was in last year. And you remember who you were on? Like, who was the last
August.
guest that was on? Was it John or something?
I don't think it was John, 'cause I definitely would have remembered if it was John.
Was it Daryl?
No.
No, it was after
it was,
Daryl. I don't remember.
I couldn't tell you.
Crazy to think on all the people.
Probably Colin.
Yeah,
Watch me, Colin.
Yeah, and all the people we've had on after that too. It's crazy to look back at 2019. What was your favorite? Who was your favorite person we talked to, Damon?
You. And
Oh,
Colin
well,
and
thank
Adam.
you. No, I mean, but like out of all the guests we've had on,
You can't put me on the spot because then what if, if I don't name somebody, then
well,
be
it's
like,
not.
why wasn't I your favorite?
No, it's.
I like the light and funny ones.
the
Or
light and funny ones. Yeah.
yeah.
I'm trying to think right now who.
Yeah, did you have
my
one?
my favorite one that we did in 2019 was probably either the one with Mike Cimino when he came
Yeah.
on the second time. That was really fun, talking about the storming Area 51.
And I was like artist stuff. So that's
Yeah,
cool.
that was really cool. And then the one that you couldn't make, sadly, Damon, the guy,
yeah,
the
this
crime
one.
scene cleanup
Yeah,
guys.
crime
That's one of
scene
your guys'
cleanup and,
favorites.
and Uncle Mike.
Uncle Mike. Uncle Mike was a really good one. You missed Uncle Mike out.
Uncle
Oh, yeah.
Uncle Mike.
I will say, Uncle Mike, you're probably watching, so Uncle Mike was my favorite one.
There you go.
We got to talk about antiques, and
Yeah,
we talked
antiques.
about signs for as long as we did the podcast that night, I
Yep,
think. So
true. And we
Yeah.
talked about his experience at the Boston Marathon bombing because he was there when it
I
happened.
really enjoyed that one.
That was really
good,
fun.
Good guy.
Yeah, and we're looking forward to 2020. We got a lot of big ideas coming up, a lot of crazy, not crazy, but a lot of cool, interesting guests we want to have on, and
Like Adam.
like Adam.
Like Adam, yeah.
Adam, who was your favorite?
Yeah, Adam. Who? There's a good one.
I would say one of my favorite episodes was probably talking about the like the Colts with Dane.
Oh,
You remember that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Was that the drinking the Kool-Aid one?
Yep.
That was a fun one.
That was the day that we had watched that documentary, and it just got me like.
Oh, true.
I don't want to say like in the mood, like in the mood to talk about it, like
Yeah.
not in the mood to join a cult. But
Yeah.
that's another discussion.
Yeah. That was
I
a
heard
fun
you
one.
watching Game of Thrones now, Adam.
Oh
Oh,
my
here we
gosh,
go, here
yeah,
we go.
that stuff
We knew
blows
it'd get
my
brought up.
mind.
We won't talk. We'll talk.
blows
off
my
air.
mind.
Well, I know, but here's the funny thing, Adam. Damon's when we're always talking to these different people. Damon's like, that kind of reminds me of this from Game of Thrones, and me and Colin don't watch it, so we don't really know what he's talking
What
about.
season are you up to?
So all right, okay, so like
We won't go too though.
I've like watched scattered episodes from season 1 to like midway through season 6.
Oh.
But when I got home, I'm like, I have to start from the beginning. And so right now I just watched season 3, episode 6.
That'd probably
I
be a
think.
cool way to watch it, because then it's almost like not a flashback, but you can watch for other things that you saw that puts it together.
Yep. Yeah, it's nice because there's so much going on in that show where it's like if you don't like really pay attention to it, you're gonna be so lost. And I was very lost for a long time.
I was telling Ethan, it's like a mini movie every week. I mean, the production value. Is
I
just,
know
like,
that they spend an
insane.
unbelievable
and there's
amount of
like
money
20
on
different storylines going on at the same time
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Now this will make me sound like a kind of a dork, but I sent off some cards to get autographed, and I got a couple back. I got one from Kit Harington, he plays Jon Snow, and I got one
Really?
from and I got one from Maisley Williams back with her autograph on it. So I'm waiting for 3 more. So.
Wow, you don't have to pay him or anything. They
Well,
just
I had to send it over to the UK, and then I like put money in there to buy postage because I couldn't buy stamps over here. And this was like a year ago, and like the first one I got was like 8 or 9 months later. You know,
Wow, it
whatever.
took that long.
Like, it takes that long to
wow.
come back.
I know that name though, the Snow guy. I've heard of that before.
Jon Snow.
Yeah.
King of the North. All right, sorry. I'll stop.
To kind of get away from the Game of Thrones references here, we talked about Amazon Alexa and Google like security, those little devices or whatever last week, and we had multiple people hit me and Colin up about how we set off their Amazon Alexa or their Google devices when they were either listening or watching to the podcast.
Are there Google phones?
Yeah. They were. I had a message. One of the guests sent, or one of the fans sent me a message of what it actually said, and it took like our conversation when we were having, and it like interpreted it into a text message.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and it was
transcribe it. For
yeah,
us.
it transcribed it. Yeah,
Nice.
and so it kind of creepy.
Yeah.
And the other question is, we did talk about this last week. Did you guys see any shower curtain
I didn't see
advertisements?
I did not.
I did not see any either.
I got a Bed Bath and Beyond, if that's what it's still called, advertisement, but I think that's just because I was on Walmart earlier.
Oh, we were trying to say shower curtains a lot during the podcast.
We said it a
Got a
lot.
little creepy.
Yeah, and we were hoping that hard having conversation about shower curtains for that long, but we were hoping that when we were on like Facebook or whatever, like you'd see a shower curtain ad, but it never happened, which was kind of depressing.
No, and well, maybe because I had my phone off, or not off, but like so it couldn't pick up when you're not supposed to and stuff.
But it's happened before to you, Dan.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
it's happened to me as well, and other people. So I don't know. Maybe I'll have to try it out another time and see if we can
Shower curtain.
Try it again this week.
Game of Thrones.
Another big news story. Oh, I guess not news story. It's coming out though in February. The podcast will be featured in the Mankato magazine, Mankato Monthly magazine. Yeah, so they're actually reaching out to some of the guests we've had on. They're reaching out to Tom and Mickey and Adrian and Mike Cimino.
Nice.
So they interviewed me today, and then they're going to interview the others, and I sent them pictures from the podcast and everything, and they're going to talk to them about their stories and everything.
Cool.
And they're asking me if we're going to have any more paranormal investigators or people like that on, and I'm like, well, we're always looking for people, so if anyone has anybody, this is a good shout out right here. If anyone wants to be on or knows anybody, hit us up. You can find us on Facebook. And I know we're going to be getting Danny and those guys on, Danny Martinez and DJTC Investigations on.
I was just going to ask you about that too. Because you said paranormal, so I was thinking about those guys.
Yeah, I've already talked to Danny, and I saw their first YouTube video. That was pretty cool. So
I'm going to really out myself here. About 6 or 7 years ago, I wrote a poem for the Valentine edition for that magazine
really?
that got published.
Really? You remember it, Damon?
No, I don't. Oh, yeah. I mean, no, it's too much. I mean,
it was beautiful.
It was
I guarantee it was beautiful.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't want to make anyone cry right now.
We'll bring that up during the Valentine's
It's
episode.
very lovely, yeah. I bring it up too because I just found the magazine cleaning out my apartment too. Yeah.
Do they do that every month, or I'm not even familiar?
I don't know. I have to
with it.
look. Maybe.
I'm not.
Were you
familiar.
on the cover?
No, but I had like a nice little block where they like put like nice font and then.
It was you and Barry White.
That's
right
back when I was writing. That's back when I was writing. I'll tell you real quick too. There was also one where they put like your poem in a sidewalk in Mankato.
Oh,
and
really?
I wrote one for that too, but I didn't get put in the sidewalk, but I got put in the book. So I'm like,
I didn't know you were a big poem writer.
Back in the day.
Dang, a poet, and you know it.
Yeah.
He's single and ready to mingle.
There we go.
Ladies,
He's got the
get 'em,
poetry.
I'll write you a poem.
What are some of the things from 2019 that you guys, or not 2019, just the whole decade, because now we're in 2020, so the 2010s, 2010s, whatever you want to call it, are past us. What are some things looking back that really stand out to you guys? Because we're going to talk about that this episode. You know, we're in a new decade now.
Yeah, I think we should go right to Adam, probably.
Yeah.
All right,
I'll start.
Go right on the start. Yeah. What are some things that pop out to you? Whether it's sports, technology, we kind of no politics stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, it's kind of very broad, but just technology in the last 10 years, I feel like just looking back, has made probably like the biggest advancement in a 10-year span.
Yeah.
That's possible because 2010. I mean,
I'm trying to think.
I can't give you like the exact years, but the first like iPhone or like the first smartphone had to come out probably late 2000s, maybe.
I think 2007 was when the iPhone came out.
But like from that to now,
yeah.
like from the iPhone or like the original iPhone to the 11, just the amount of different tech or stuff that it can do, amount of different things that it can do. I just think that, and then like cars too.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, like
fully electric.
Yeah, and cars that can drive for you, and then you have Tesla making whatever that Cybertruck is. Like you're going to war.
Yeah.
Dude, the advancement of iPhones is pretty crazy. The iPhone from 2010.
I do think so.
Do ya?
Am I not supposed? Like, didn't I just?
No,
say that?
I'm just saying. Like,
Yeah, it is. I mean, to go back and look at, I can't even really picture what the original iPhone. I'm trying to think.
I don't know what
a lot
iPhone
smaller.
4G,
I'll
the
tell you that
iPhone
much.
4G was the first one, right? Or the
Well,
iPhone.
because it looked like exactly how like an iPod Touch did, didn't it?
Yeah,
you're
It's
right.
a little thicker.
It was pretty much like the same thing, except
Little
it could call.
brick, pretty
It
much.
could call. Is the only difference. Pretty much.
Yeah. And now they're releasing 5G is coming out.
I did see
soon,
that.
which
Because-
will be in the next iPhone, I think.
Because they have because Verizon has 5G in like it's like 4 or 5 major cities. So like I know that like New York City, I don't know if it's the whole city, but at least part of the city has access to it. And
Really?
I don't know if it's Chicago. I feel like you'd probably know better about that than
I
me.
don't
But
remember.
Atlanta maybe might be
In the
one.
commercial, they have someone in Minneapolis too, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
But they make it sound like Minneapolis is like a podunk town or something. Like even in Minneapolis, we have fines.
Yeah,
Out
it's like,
there
all
in the
right.
boondocks
Come
of
on now, man.
Minneapolis.
Come on now.
No, it is crazy to look at that, and then you also look at other things too besides phones and that. But I mean, think about the other weird things that have came up. I mean, who would have thought they're releasing like 8K TVs now? In 2010, I don't even know if like 2K or 4K was around.
I'm blown away by the prices when you go into a place and you see how cheap a TV you can get for something. 'Cause,
I know.
I mean,
yeah.
back early 2000s, I mean, you'd be spending like $5,000 on a 60-inch big, heavy, wide one.
Plasma.
I don't even know if it was plasma like that.
Plasma.
No, you can walk in. They're in Walmart. They're 55, 60-inch for like $400.
They're
like
so
a nice
cheap,
one.
yeah. No, that is true. How like I mean, even now you can go to like the Dollar General and get a pair of wireless headphones.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like $5 or $10.
Yeah.
Even like back in 2010, there's no way that those were even like under $50. Like now, wireless technology, Bluetooth technology. It's going to be crazy to see what the next decade brings. We'll get into predictions after that. What are some things you remember or think back to in the past decade?
You know, a lot of them we talked about on the show towards the end of the decade, like some of the things, but technology is one. I won't get political, but all the stuff, all the tension, like with everybody, that's always on people's mind. And I'm in a position where I work at Rainbows where we're doing kindness and stuff. So, you know, Adam was talking about teaching kids like fourth graders and stuff. Where am I taking this? Because it's like, I don't know, just like the last 10 years, just like
there's been a lot of
the advancement of everything, and still knowledge, people learning stuff, scientists breakthrough, like the black hole.
Yeah, the black hole.
I don't know why that popped in my head, but you know,
that is the first picture of a black hole was taken.
I mean, I don't know if that's monumental, but it goes along the lines of the technology and everything.
Yeah.
And, I guess one big one we always deal with every day is social media and how people interact. Maybe that's where I was going with that.
There we go.
I would say that
Snapchat.
2010s was the year of social media.
Yeah, and that's what, not getting political, but like what's real, what's not with the deep fakes and stuff. I saw one the other day that came up. I almost sent you. It's Sylvester Stallone in Home Alone.
Oh, I saw that one.
Did you see that one?
I saw that one.
I mean, if this stuff doesn't like,
It's awesome.
kind of off-put, it's awesome. But if it doesn't like make you a little off-put, like what they can do, it's like
Those are creepy.
So I just want people to keep talking to each other and like
Yeah.
keep some old school thing, and not because it's cool, but like what was I watching the other day? Like it looks like we're almost watching stuff from the 80s, like the New Year's Eve ball stuff and like some of the songs that like the people are wearing and stuff like that. It's like all coming back. Like it seems like every 20, 30 years, like the trends always start coming back. You know,
that is true, and we talked
about
about
that not long
Yeah.
ago. That was on my brain too, but really just how people interact too, and like we're lucky so far that we haven't had any in this last decade. I mean, there's been some little war. I mean, we're in a war, but it's like there hasn't been any like major nuclear things happening or anything. So we should count our blessings for that.
yeah, for sure. What about you, Com? What are some things looking back 2010s?
I'm trying to think here. I mean, just the advancement in social media. The
Yeah.
kid, like, I don't know. I feel like the younger kids now are just, I
They've-
don't know. They're
were
more
born into it.
aggressive and mean, you know, because social media, they think they can swear left and right.
Yeah.
They're just, I don't know.
Bullied too over like behind their keyboards and
Yeah.
Well, the
Keyboard warriors.
the generation like right after I guess me and Adam or whatever. I mean, we're like the last of the 90s. I mean, the generation after that is all gonna be people that were born with like social media around them their whole entire lives.
Yeah.
Like from the minute they're born to, I mean, it's just gonna keep getting crazier. They've had social media. I mean, I know kids that are like 6, 7 years old. They already have a phone or whatever, you know, which is unreal.
I mean, well, to be fair, I probably got my first phone when I was like 8 or 9.
Really?
But I mean, that's also because like it's not like I lived in like a dangerous part of New Jersey. But
Oh, yeah, you were in New Jersey.
But I mean, like
you could buy them on the corners.
I mean, to be honest, knowing my dad, he probably did. but I mean, I think that's kind of like a location type thing too, because like in like a more metro type area, like there's more reason to like know where your kids are at, because like if I'm like in a small town like Wyndham and like I don't see my kid for like a few hours. I mean, okay, first of all, like let me say that if I had a kid, I wouldn't just leave my 5-year-old doing whatever, but like if I didn't see him for a few hours, I'd be like, yeah, he's probably at his buddy's house. Like he like nothing major probably happened to him.
Yeah.
that probably makes me look like a bad parent, and to all the ladies out there that are looking.
Oh, jeez, this thing got serious real quick.
I will not treat our children like this.
Is this a prediction for next year?
Prediction for 2020.
We're gonna do the little box above your head. Adam's gonna be married next year.
Something you want to tell us, Adam?
But you're saying
next podcast I'll have something for you.
You're saying in New Jersey though, or in bigger cities, that'll benefit kids if they have phones when they're young.
I think so because like if you don't know like where your kids are at, I mean the biggest thing that I think would be a plus is parents being able to check the location of it. I mean obviously the kids are gonna hate that, but like but for the sake of their own safety, if a parent can always just like look at your phone and be like, oh, he's there, like there's nothing to worry about, then it's cool. But like if you don't have a phone or if you don't like have access to somebody that has a phone and your parents like want to keep tabs on you or something like that or just anything like that and they like don't know where you are, I feel like that could be like a problem, like especially in like bigger areas.
Yeah, that's a good point, and that's a good one to bring up because when I say that stuff, it's not against technology. I think it's going to be like figuring out how to harness all this.
How do you use it the right way?
The right way, like coming up and I don't want to use the word regulate, but like use it for
maintain safety.
Yes.
There you go. Instead of regulate.
Safety's a big. I mean, when you get these younger kids that have phones, whatever, you have to think about what they're susceptible to online. I mean, chat rooms, that's also very predators or whatever.
You just showed me some TikTok videos and it almost knocked me over.
Dude, hey,
not of kids either. Like, not of kids.
No.
Hey, but the kids are like super young kids, like that. Yeah.
Really?
Very
I just
young,
TikTok
making
was not too long
I don't know,
ago,
kind of
like,
inappropriate videos. Doing
and
dances.
They have is the ability to look up, and like we looked at it during the podcast last week or 2 weeks ago, was when that kid accidentally looked up porn on the Amazon Echo, whatever. He's like 2 years old, and he accidentally looked up porn. So now you have a 6-7-year-old with a phone, or you have a little 10, 11-year-old boy, he's a little interested, whatever. What do you think? I mean, he could get into some bad stuff online. Some of the nasty, horrible.
Accidentally call somebody, or if their parents have their credit card set up to it.
Yeah, I feel like there's going to be some scary stuff coming out. There's just got to be a way, for the younger generation to correctly and safely use phones and technology so that it doesn't end up causing more damage than it does do.
The new iPhone kid.
iPhone kid. What's that about?
I have no clue. I'll let Apple do that.
In advertising,
good idea.
we won't go into it a long time, but advertising, just like every year, it gets more and more like, I don't want to say secretive, but like it's just like it's always been there. We talked about in the 80s how it comes up, but now it's just easier. It's all about advertising, like data mining and collecting all your data and everything, and that gets scary to a point too. Like
it does. And how has advertising changed in the past 10 years?
Yeah, it's almost like it's getting there's
more
always
invasive.
been like subliminal advertising, but they don't call it subliminal advertising, but it's just like smart advertising, if you want to call it that. Or,
no, it is. I've heard of like technology coming up where they're going to have like billboards customized like your car and the billboard interact.
We talked about that with the Google goggles.
And it uses your information off of your internet, like your search history, and it'll actually send it to the billboard. So if there's a ton of people in that area that are driving by that are interested in whatever, then that'll be like the main advertisement showing up. Which is actually kind of creepy to think that
good way to get over distracted driving.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to happen though, and it has already been happening. But advertising is going to figure out ways to really get into our lives more and more, especially when VR is like the next up and rising thing. Someone was just telling me that Apple is designing like the next thing is going to be VR phone. And you wear it like glasses or whatever, and it has everything.
Picturing someone wearing a phone around their face.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and everything like you look at whatever, like you're at a restaurant and you look at the menu and it pops out and you like everything on the sidewalk, the road, signs, like everything is like because you're looking at it through like a VR headset.
And then you're seeing that person, like
because it's.
I don't even like FaceTiming. I don't even answer FaceTime.
Have you heard of like the Google Glasses though?
Yeah, it's kind of like that.
I say because that's pretty similar to what that is. Because I mean like those don't even have like lenses or anything either.
This is going to be like full glasses, and everything you see is going to be interactable.
Eventually, it'll be
like
a
some
contact
Iron Man
lens
kind of
chip.
stuff.
Yeah, Iron Man. Yeah. And
do
then,
you guys even call people anymore? Do you call like?
I call people.
Like,
yeah. I try to.
That's good.
Yeah, I mean sometimes I don't like calling because I mean
you don't like calling.
Yeah, I don't like calling. I love calling. No, I don't know.
There's something nice about a call. Like it's just like there's levels like like, happy birthday. If you're taking a happy birthday, for example, it's like there's like a Facebook post on their wall. Then there's like direct message. Then there's like a text. But then you get that call, and then
You got like the tears of how much you care about that.
Yeah. That's
This is dang, Damon. We never thought about it that much. When's her birthday? I'm gonna make sure I call.
Next time Damon, when Damon texts me on my birthday.
Dudes, texts are fine.
Texts are fine by dudes. We need a Damon rules for birthday messages.
No.
Put
The hierarchy.
the hierarchy. I love it. I put a presentation together here that goes over
like a PowerPoint.
A PowerPoint. It is a PowerPoint. We're still using those in 2020, Damon. So this is my very informative, very research-backed.
I like this.
Presentation.
Why do I feel like there's no research in this?
Yeah.
The 2010s doesn't sound cool like the 80s, but a fun decade. So we got 2010 and 2019
we're
here.
gonna see a lot of stuff that we could. Yeah.
This is stuff that you probably forgot
We didn't
about.
mention sports stuff at all.
That's coming up here.
Oh,
That's coming up here. Okay,
I could definitely dive into that.
That's
all the change in rules.
Let's dive right in
Yeah,
here.
and
April 2010, all the way back, the first iPad came out, which was actually surprising to me because I thought that the iPad came out around the same time as the iPod Touch.
See, I feel like the reason that the iPad probably came out later is because they didn't realize that, because like back in like the 90s and early thousands, they had the huge phones, and then Apple was huge. Apple was a big part of the, hey, here are these small ones that can do more. And they're like, wait a minute, people want to go big again.
Was it because the Kindle, or why would they release something bigger?
Did the Kindle come out before?
I think the Kindle came out around the same time as the
Kindle
iPod.
wasn't touchscreen though.
True.
Like the original one wasn't.
True.
That wasn't until.
Yeah, because this came out before the smartphones, and all of a sudden smartphones just kind of killed that because it's basically a big smartphone that can't make a call. Like
Some of the iPads, I'm pretty sure
they
could.
could.
Yeah.
They could.
Now
Calls,
that well,
it's funny because I had one of these almost right away, but I didn't get a smartphone until what?
You remember how much they were when they came out?
Man, they were still
Were they
$800,000.
super expensive?
Yeah.
Because I'm sure. I mean, this is like the first like computer without a keypad
Keyboard,
or whatever. It's like an actual handheld thing.
It was more like for almost using for like scheduling and like things like that. It was easier to carry on a laptop.
And think about back then, like internet speed, like in 2010. Like I can't imagine it was very good.
For what I used it for, I didn't see it but I didn't watch a lot of videos or anything.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, specifically videos. I bet it was not very good at all.
back when 3G was fast.
Yeah.
Now when I have 3G, I'm like, all right, someone get me to a better area.
We need Wi-Fi or something.
I'll talk to you later. I only have 3G.
2010, Haiti Earthquake. This is the one that I was like, dang, that really feels like a really long time ago. Because I remember when we were in Mr.
like
Cartwright's room and
the
watching
6th
the We Are the World or whatever, We Are the One.
Oh, yeah.
Because they did that. They did that because they did it way back in the day.
Yep.
But then they did it in 2010 for the Haiti Earthquake. And they had all the artists come together. And I remember watching that in Mr. Cartwright's room. And that was back like in 2010.
It seems like a long
time ago. 12 years old.
I mean, it was a long time ago.
Yeah, that's crazy. So the Haiti earthquake, which was a huge disaster, that's crazy thinking back. April 2011, the royal wedding.
That was that long ago? 2011?
2011.
Did not think it was that long.
Or that
ago.
one. Then there was another
There's
one.
another one.
not
We'll
long
talk-
ago.
I got that one in here too.
That's the thing.
Who is this then? This is you know the two.
Oh, is that Henry or Edward? Or is
I
that,
don't know. I don't follow the royal weddings. You got to
I don't
stay up in
either.
the middle of the night to watch those.
I'm like Adams wants to do. I haven't been married yet.
Working on it.
New Year's resolution right here.
Get married impulsively. 2020.
All right, next one here.
Look good on the date. Yeah.
2011, Occupy Wall Street. And that one, to me, another one that felt like it was earlier than 2010, but this is when it was in the height of it, was in 2011.
Yeah, and I don't remember a whole lot about Occupy Wall Street.
Really?
but,
It went on for a long time. They were, people were
I
really.
remember they occupied lots of places, like occupy this place, occupy that.
Oh, really?
place. Yeah.
I kind of just remember this one a little bit. I remember the one guy. I guess I don't remember. I watched it not that long ago. The one guy that went out on the street, the Wall Street billionaire, Peter something, and he went out there and he was arguing with all of them. He's like, well, why don't you like us, or what's the deal? And there are people out in the street, like these guys right here holding the signs and the flags and everything. We're just mad about the profit and everything that was going on, the corruption and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's crazy looking back at.
Oh my
I
god.
like how you picked planking.
May 2011,
no.
planking. Enough said.
Oh no.
That
That
was
is enough said.
I'm going to warn you right now. The 2010s were a very cringy decade of
Lots
a lot
of weird
lots
trends.
of
When was the
weird-
water bucket challenge? Was that?
Oh,
that
the
was-
ALS one.
I was going to add that to
50
this.
Cent had the best one though.
I never saw the 50 Cent
but
one.
we definitely couldn't put it on here because of the content.
Oh,
We get banned from Facebook again.
It's so funny.
Can you explain it, or is it even? Would we get?
So, like, 50 Cent and Floyd Mayweather have had beef for a while. And pretty much, all right, well, leaving the expletives out, 50 Cent said, I'm not going to do the ice bucket, but I'll donate however much to a charity of your choice. If Floyd Mayweather read an entire page of a Harry Potter book on
jeez.
camera.
Oh, wow.
50 didn't think he could read.
Dang.
After this, we got to watch that video. It is hilarious. But yeah, definitely couldn't put that on.
Oh crap! Didn't mean to skip that. But planking, that was a cringy.
Yeah.
That does not feel like that long ago.
No.
But this was all over the place.
I remember
Like,
planking to see how long I could hold it, but doing like an exercise plank, not like taking pictures. And
oh gosh, these are just like everybody at
doing
school.
planking to train.
Yeah, this is just like that. Jimmy Fallon there. That's what it looked like on the couch. Not very good. May 2011, the last Oprah Winfrey episode. 25 seasons and more than 5,000 episodes. Oprah Winfrey.
5,000
Winfrey.
episodes.
That's
Oh my
crazy,
goodness.
isn't it?
she's
Yeah.
going to be in the Twin Cities coming up here with Tina Fey. I saw.
Are they
Oh, really?
going
Doing a
around?
tour.
Or?
I don't know if Tina's always with her, but they're going to do a. I bet you that's going to be bonkers. Like
Yeah,
sold out, whatever.
this is a really big deal too when this happened because everyone loves Oprah.
Yeah.
And the actual the
Especially
studio.
Adam.
Yeah, Adam's
Especially
big.
Josh from Drake and Josh.
Yeah.
That's what I think about too. Like every time I see Oprah, that's immediately what I think of is
Josh.
Josh. Oprah.
Didn't he hit Oprah in the one episode with his car? Oh my gosh, I love that show. All right, let's see what else we got here. March 2012. Guess this man. Adam, Colin, Damon.
He looks like
This was huge.
He looks super
When I
familiar.
say it, you're gonna.
Rodney King.
Nope.
No.
No. Oh, this is a very hated man right here. Very hated man. There was a movement. 2012.
Oh, is that Kony?
Kony.
I remember that.
You know this? You don't know this?
Kony
one?
2012. How could I
Kony
forget?
2012, 100 million views in 6 days. This little guy right here, Jason, I can't remember his last name. This guy was overseas and he found out about this Kony guy, Joseph Kony, who was making all these kids into his slaves or whatever, and they're like an armed militia trying to take down.
I honestly don't recall this.
Really?
Yeah.
What I thought was crazy,
everywhere.
like honestly, like obviously I believe everything about this, but the one thing that seems incredibly suspicious to me about it is it got huge and then just stopped in in a matter of like 2 weeks. Like everybody was talking about it, and then nobody said a word about it.
Well, and remember they were planning those. There was like night to retreat or whatever, like right there in the right hand corner. Like everyone was supposed to come together, buy the Kony posters and the T-shirt, go around town, put them up everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to raise awareness to go stop this guy, and then like Adam said,
It just stopped.
there was like no talk about it. And maybe we need an update
I guess
next
that's what
episode.
I'll have to research this.
Yeah.
Must have missed
I don't
that
remember
2 week
that.
window before it disappeared.
It was.
I remember this.
It was not the first viral thing, but it was like the first huge viral campaign.
I wasn't woke enough in 2012.
They was
sleeping.
part of the 100 million views.
No, I was not.
It
No,
was a
I
half an
not.
hour long YouTube video that like this Jason guy explained everything and how you can donate and try to stop this guy.
I don't want to go back to it, but I just watched a documentary on Rodney King and the riots in LA
Really?
back in the 90s, and that was, ooh.
Does he look like
I think
Rodney
it was-
King?
Well, I don't want to say he does, but when it was just off the top of my head.
Yeah.
But like that was bonkers looking back at that because I'd have to look up the date for sure, but I didn't realize like how bad it actually was at that time.
Yeah.
Like,
Weren't they
people on
burning
top of-
down buildings?
Yeah, burning buildings. People on top of their stores shooting at people. Like it was just,
Crazy.
Yeah, it was
That'd be a good
crazy.
podcast topic one time to talk about older stuff like
That'd
that.
be a deep one.
Yeah. July 2012, another cringe fest.
I do remember that.
Gangnam Style, most watched video ever. First video on YouTube to reach 1 billion views.
Adam, you remember when Ethan made the video of the teachers' faces on the music video?
I don't think they ever showed that to anybody.
Oh, I thought
don't
they
remember.
did.
Old Northy hired me to make a video
Of course he did.
Dude, he's got Elder and Husk
of
on
the
all that. It's
teachers'
hilarious.
faces on the characters from Gangnam Style, and you'll never believe who I put as Psy or whatever this guy's name is. The old how am I forgetting his name? Our social teacher,
Ammerman.
hockey Ammerman.
Oh,
Ammerman I put as Psy or whatever. Do you remember? Remember this?
Would you say
Oh.
this is one of the first this was like the biggest viral?
Biggest
at the time.
viral video.
Like this kind
Yeah.
of not started, but like crescendo the
Does
viral.
it still have the most views on
No.
YouTube?
It doesn't.
Doesn't Baby by Justin Bieber have the most videos or most
Views,
views now?
I think so. It has the most dislikes, I know for sure. But
I don't know about that. That's a great song.
well, look it up. What's the
That
most?
song's
Look it
iconic.
up. But this was like the cringe. This started the whole cringy song thing because from now on, for a bunch more slides, you're gonna see a lot more cringy songs.
That looks like TikTok on the left there.
This is like early,
Gangnam Style's got 3.4 billion now.
I've never Gangnam Style. Have you guys ever Gangnam Style?
Oh yeah.
probably
Yeah.
back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
like
You're
these
young. You're
middle school
younger.
dances or whatever.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
It's bad looking back. Yeah. Can't figure out what's the most viral, most
Were there
viewed video.
were there phones then? Is there video of you guys at some of these dances? Like,
Nope.
Not
Sorry.
that I.
Nope.
You know that
Not worth looking into.
I'm glad there wasn't when I was younger. I mean, that's a real thing. Like,
Yeah, I don't really remember like videos of people being posted like they are now back when we were younger because that just wasn't really a thing. Like it wasn't like people had phones and stuff, but it wasn't like everyone was recording Snapchats and stuff. Like it wasn't that crazy big when we were young. I mean, and it took off in high school.
Well, and like that's another big change that I think too is like when you look at like how we dressed when we were in middle school and stuff, like we looked like goofballs. like me, like myself, absolutely. I would go to school dressed as like a highlighter. I'd have like a bright orange shirt on, orange shorts.
you know what? I was doing that in the '90s.
That's
too,
what I'm
cross
saying.
colors and
It's
stuff.
that's 90s, yeah.
But I feel like that's not so much like that's just how the style
Yeah.
was. I feel like because everybody has like their phones out and like they can see like how everybody else dresses. Or like you'd get roasted if you wore something like that.
That's a great point.
I feel like that's a change because like now when I like see kids like in middle schools and high schools, like they dress better now than I do now.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I was
Do you feel
I'm
like,
sitting here in a t-shirt and sweats.
You always have to be
all gray,
like nervous
But-
what you're doing, like nervous or like someone's always looking over your shoulder, like you're gonna be popped on something.
Oh,
or like,
yeah, yeah.
Ethan, Baby Shark Dance, 4.21
Oh
billion.
yeah, Baby Shark.
Dude,
I
and
didn't
that's
get that cringe
recent.
fest.
It's crazy that it.
4.2 billion.
Yep.
I work with kids, so I had to hear Baby Shark way too many times.
Oh no.
You were making a good point though, Damon. Now more than ever, you are more like prone to have your career ruined or whatever over social media than ever before. Like think of Kevin Hart. Think about that the winner of the Heisman, all these guys that posted stuff on social media when they're in middle school and then they're getting called out for it now.
Yeah.
Like you got to be super careful.
And it's like good and bad if it's warranted, but like if you're always living where you're thinking like you're on parade, it's
Yeah.
like it gets old. Like
And like I don't mean to cut you off,
No,
but like
I'm done.
I feel like that's like a really big part with sports too. Is that like because the reason that Michael Jordan left the league initially was because or maybe not the only reason, but a big reason why was because of his gambling problem, right?
yeah.
Okay, but like if social media would have been around in the era of those guys. Like all the stuff that like they did behind the scenes. I mean like looking at like Pete Rose too. Like that stuff would have came up immediately.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it wouldn't have
Yeah.
been hidden as long as it was.
Yeah.
But because nobody was recording them all the time or like following like what they were doing.
Yeah.
Like they could get away with so much more stuff. Like imagine like trying to commit a crime in like the 60s versus trying to commit a crime now.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like I'm not trying to diss any like crime or criminals from the 60s.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you got caught in the 60s breaking the law, you were dumb.
Yeah. There's no cameras everywhere.
Like what's gonna catch you? Like somebody's eyes?
That's literally, yeah. Literally.
But like now, I mean, you can't walk into anywhere without having 20 cameras on you.
Yeah.
And if you try to do anything on your phone, it's being monitored by
Yeah.
how many people.
Yeah.
And there's good and bad to that. Like if you criminals should be caught if they're doing something like highly illegal, but like the random person, like I mean like getting made fun of wearing stuff like to school and stuff. I mean, oh my gosh.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and it's interesting you brought that up because I was just reading an article and it was something about how hard it is to walk a city block without being on without being picked up on some form of video or audio or anything. It's almost impossible now, especially if you're in a big city.
Or if you're even driving.
I literally no, like everywhere you go, there's recording or data collection going on, no matter where you are.
Yeah.
So it's almost impossible right now to move invisible because now they have cameras in street lights. They have cameras on every.
Adam,
every
do you want
stoplight.
do you want your wife to be on like TikTok and social media all the time, like posting stuff
Not
left and
TikTok.
right? What's that?
Anything else, not TikTok. I think TikTok is like the cringiest thing in the world.
Yeah.
I think that's like the home for cringiness. To be honest, it's like
Yeah.
people can
Yeah.
get out all their inner
Yeah, there's
badness.
some horrible.
Like what
I
if you
agree.
guys meet a girl and like you see like her pictures are all like selfies and stuff?
I
Like,
can. Oh,
is that cool?
I would have no problem with that, but I'm telling you this right now, my girl cannot be Instagram famous.
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
What's the
from
peak? What's the
jump.
peak for Instagram? What's the number?
What's the followers that
What's
they
the
can
followers? What's your chart?
What's the peak following?
That's tough because I think that if it's over, it's because like I mean like I know girls like now that have like a couple thousand, like that's not too much, but if it's over like 7,000-8,000, then she probably belongs to the streets, you know. So like
There you go, ladies.
So,
What if they're fake
learning all-
followers?
We're learning all kinds of
that's what
stuff.
I'm learning.
about
maybe
Adam here.
10, maybe 10.
Oh,
I-
10's
like,
the limit. All right.
I don't know, you know.
10,000, you saying?
I don't know. See, I have under 1,000, but you know, I'm not.
It's a sliding
I'm not a-
scale
I'm-
because it
I'm not an
depends on
Instagram model.
what the pictures are and who's following and
Well, and
That's
if
the
you,
thing.
what
That's
she's
the thing.
selling.
We're not even talking about the rise of editing and all that. Like these
I thought you were gonna
girls
say,
are.
like Snapchat Premium or something, but never mind. Never mind. Keep going.
That's another where we could go. I'm saying that like these girls are not just
Moving
girls.
floors in
Yeah, not
Worthington.
just, we should say not just girls.
Yeah, not.
Like,
I
but
guess
we're
I
guys,
have
so
I
we're-
have examples from girls, but it could be guys too of girls like going on and editing pictures of themselves to make themselves seem
Well, the
thinner.
best is when, like, when you're out in public and you see a guy or girl sitting there and taking like 1,000 shots, like in the most random spot. And you're like,
Yeah.
which one of those 50 are you going to use? To,
Yeah,
like,
but I'm talking like completely faking
Oh,
stuff.
faking stuff.
Like we've
yeah.
there's been incidents where we've like seen things and caught girls or
Oh.
guys, whoever, it doesn't matter, manipulating their body to make it seem bigger or smaller depending on the area.
Oh, you mean like like Adam when he biceps and pushes up with his fingers?
Yeah.
Like I need to do that.
But it's bad. There's
Colin
entire
when he's hugging himself to the back camera.
there are literally though like Reddit pages that are dedicated to finding people
And roasting
and
them.
roasting them for editing their pictures.
God, I wish I had that much time.
Yeah. There are people out there with way too much time, but it is sad though that people feel like they have to edit their bodily image
Yes.
or whatever to just fit
Yeah.
the societal
Yeah.
whatever you want to call it. You know, I'm not trying to get in that too much, but
Right.
that's another thing that you got to be wary of when you're dealing with technology in the modern era and like the younger generation. So I don't know. Crazy how we got
I
all
like
that.
I like your list here. You come with a nice presentation and you just ask us and we're like, oh shoot, like
Yeah, I kind of wanted to get your guys started off.
keep
but
going here. This is fun.
2012, the end. See you guys.
Yeah.
No, I kidding. We actually survived. JK, we still going. Rick rolling there.
That's awesome.
No, but
That's a huge part of the 2010s right there.
Yeah, you got Rick rolled.
Because that video has so many views just from people
Yeah.
clicking on it on accident.
Yeah, because you'd look up like a song by Drake and then it'd start and then like 10 seconds in, never gonna live. But
Adam, did you see that? It was Pittsburgh and Chargers, and hardly anyone goes to the Chargers games, right, in football. And Pittsburgh always plays. Is that Pittsburgh that plays Renegade, right? I think
so.
And they started the song Renegade, and the crowd is all Pittsburgh.
Oh,
Started-
yeah, I did see
and then they rickrolled and started playing that song.
that is a big thing. I pulled that up just because I thought it was funny.
It's a good song. He's got a list in there too. I think of what he wants out of a wife.
Does he?
Oh.
Or no, he talks to her like he's yeah.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say it, but 2012 was supposed to be. I get where you're going with that, Dan. But
Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna turn around or desert you.
Jeez, Adam, you need
Never
a song.
gonna give, never gonna give.
2012 was supposed to be the end, and that
The
you know
Mayan
why
calendar?
the Mayan calendar
Psych!
came to an end. Psych was still here. I do remember going to Olive Garden on like in 2012, like right around New Year's, and I remember the server going up to a table and he's like, "What can I get you guys for your last meal or whatever?" And because that like people actually, there was a lot of people that thought that it was going to be the end. Like there was professors that were.
He
predicting
thought it was the end, and he was at work spending his last.
I know there were a
moments
lot.
of Earth on-
That's when I was working in a hospital, and I know there was a lot of patients that thought that there was gonna it was gonna
Really?
be the end. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the movie came out. I think the movie came out in like 2011 or something, didn't it? I'm pretty sure.
I don't know.
It shouldn't have came out after 2012. We hope.
Yeah, that definitely
Might
would've-
ruin the selling point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that 2012, we're still going. February 2013.
The Harlem Shake.
The Harlem Shake.
Dude, that pink guy right
Filthy
there,
Frank.
Yeah, is Joji.
The big change from the past
Yes.
decade. Yeah, he started
Is
off.
that where everyone just froze and then they'd shake all of a sudden?
Adam, you know Joji?
I don't think
He's
so.
he's a
a-
rapper or an artist, whatever.
He's an
is he?
R&B singer.
R&B singer, yeah. Anyway, so it started off, it was like a beat, whatever, and then the bass drop, do the Harlem Shake, and then you.
I'll tell you right now, Damon, we made a lot of those.
Did you?
If we did a lot of those.
Seeing this and not remembering it makes me feel a lot better that stuff's still exactly the same.
I think Filthy Frank was one of the first ones to do it, though.
He's the creator of it, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So
he was a huge YouTuber.
That's crazy. September 2013.
Damn Fox
that
song.
damn Fox song.
Was that
I
long ago?
hate that song. I never
This
liked
was the
that
one
song.
that I, from the beginning, I was never like, this was worse than Gangnam Style to me.
I don't understand how it blew up in the first place. Like I
Kids.
really
Kids,
don't.
yeah.
If you, this is a good thing. I've heard this on other podcasts before. If you ever have a question, if you ever want to know how a video on YouTube has so many views, or if you ever want to know why people still watch Logan Paul, the
Oh
answer
my
is
God.
the answer is kids. That's why, because there's kids out there that watch the dumbest videos.
Dude, it hasn't even hit a billion views yet. It's 903 million.
Well,
I
this
thought
was,
it would
I guess
be
you
in the
better start.
billions.
Yeah.
this was like huge. I remember when it came out. Like, it was so dumb.
It was like
though.
Baby Shark.
Yeah, literally. And then there was like that. I don't even want to talk about it. So the 2010s was a decade of horrible meme, one-hit wonder songs. So we got Harlem Shake, Gangnam Style, Rebecca Black, Friday. That was one of the
That was the
cringiest.
worst.
What was that song? She looks from
Friday.
Gotta get up on Friday.
Some regular girl from Hollywood that got a producer to put a beat and a song together, and somehow
It was such.
we know
it-
how
just a meme.
kids, huh?
It was just a meme.
Yeah, it was people making fun of her. But it's too bad though because
I gotta see how many views that video's got.
it's too bad though because like you don't want to make fun of these people, but it's just so cringy and like they're trying way too hard, and the video's just horrible and the song's horrible, and there was way too much of that in 2010.
She didn't sing "Call Me Maybe." That was later on.
No,
No.
that was
Dude,
Carly
only
Rae Jepsen.
138 million.
only. That's a lot of money.
Okay,
for her.
well, you'd think there would be
Yeah.
more.
She's raking in the money from that.
It's got 2.6 million more
Ooh.
dislikes than likes.
Oh, I forgot
Here's a
about
good news
this.
story.
This one right here is a future podcast episode topic 100% because I started when I was going through like what happened in the 2010s. This one came up and I started looking into it. I'm like, dang, this is so interesting.
Yeah.
Because there's actually a theory that came out that the Atlantic wrote about, and I'm not going to bring it up, but there's a theory about what happened to the plane, and it's super crazy, and we're just going to hold that off to another episode.
Oh.
But 2014, March of 2014, Malaysia Flight 370 vanishes over the South China Sea. 239 passengers and crew missing. No sign of the people, the plane.
Hey,
nothing.
I thought they found parts of the plane.
They did, or they think they did. But there's a theory as to what happened to everybody and like everything. So we are going to save that for a future podcast.
A teaser.
A teaser. This is for a future podcast episode because I think it's super interesting. So that happened. That doesn't feel that too long
Oh,
ago.
jeez.
Here's one that we actually talked about on the podcast. I'm pretty sure at one point we talked about the dress.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, at some point. I remember in high school,
February
or my
of 2015.
freshman year, I'm pretty sure everybody's just going crazy
Yeah.
about this. Coming to school, what color do you see?
I still don't see how people see white or gold.
Neither
but-
do I.
Do you, Damon?
This one's blue, but no. I mean, I
No.
never
Do
did.
you see black or blue or white and gold?
I see black and blue right now.
Yeah. Have you heard about this
Yeah,
before,
yeah.
didn't you?
Yeah, from the podcast,
I
yeah.
could not believe that people thought that the dress was white and gold. Like I don't see white or gold on there at all. I see a gold shimmer on the black, but that's it. I don't see white and gold.
No.
There's a scientific explanation for it too, but I didn't have time to look into it. So
That's probably the reason why people see white and gold.
February 2015 though,
And then some people are just toying with it and changing the picture. I think too. Like
yeah.
sending
For
different
sure.
pictures
Yeah.
out.
February 2016, finally
Leo got it.
Oh jeez.
Leonardo DiCaprio finally got an Oscar.
What movie was it for?
I can't remember that. Colin, research man.
I
over
can't
there.
believe that he didn't get it for Wolf of Wall Street.
I know. There was a lot
The
of
Great
movies.
Gatsby was very entertaining.
That
Oh,
might,
that was
might have
an-
been.
that was
It
an
might have
amazing
been. It
movie.
might have been the Great Gatsby. That
No,
got.
no, it was for. I'm pretty sure it was for a movie of his that I didn't see.
Really?
It was the one where he's like out in the wild or something. I do not remember the name of it. I feel like Colin's gonna find it by the time I finish my sentence.
I'm trying here.
Just look up Leo DiCaprio.
I love your
2016.
list, Colin, or Ethan. It's like major events, then memes and dancing.
Haiti Earthquake. Leo winning an
Very
Oscar.
important stuff.
Yeah.
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 I should
don't-
have came. Yeah.
Yeah,
because
I
it's-
wanted to keep it light, but I wanted to throw
You
in some
realize how
important
much stuff like has happened that can happen in 10 years, like the major news stories
Yeah.
and stuff, and how now we're not. It doesn't seem like we're as flooded with like news happenings that are happening. You know.
I mean, what a boring decade, though. No, we never had any moon landing or any crazy, like super crazy events. I mean, technology advanced, but think about being alive in like the 60s, like the moon landing,
New stuff to explore.
That's
and
huge. That's
talk
like
about.
crazy news that's never happened before.
That's what's crazy is then the space shuttle stuff just finally stopped being aired because people weren't interested anymore.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
It's just like
You can't find it, Com?
I feel like at this point, though,
There's a
like
ton of awards on here.
Just look up Leo DiCaprio 2016 Oscar.
I feel like at this point, if we landed on the moon, people I honestly think that a lot of people would just be like, okay. Like, cause
Really?
No, personally, I do think that because it's like we did this in the 60s. Like, what's so cool about doing it 60 years later?
The fact that we haven't gone back since 1970 something.
I don't know. I mean, I think that people that like people like myself who've never been anywhere near like one of those like station or like the moon, you know. but like you just see it happen and it's like never seen it in person and like seen it a bunch of times on movies. Like I'm watching it on TV, like regardless of whether or not it's real or if it's a movie, you know. So like it's whatever.
Movies are landing on asteroids now and blowing them up at Armageddon.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's like watching Star Wars and then watching somebody land on the
your
moon.
list.
Adam, can you figure out what it is?
There's a movie that just is out now. I don't want to keep beating the moon down here, but they're like battling on the moon. Like I saw the clips. They were driving like loon
Was it
rovers.
Space
Is that
Force?
Holy cow! Astra or something or Astro from Microsoft.
Adam,
He won it for The Revenant.
The Revenant.
First of
okay.
all, I just want to say that took me 5 seconds to find it.
Dude, I
I
literally
don't
looked
know
up
what
all
you were.
those
I don't know what
awards.
you were
All right.
looking for.
What's,
Okay,
what's next here, even?
Adam, I want you to read this one,
Sorry,
Adam,
go
because
ahead.
you're gonna love this. The caption I wrote here. Read it.
A gorilla that touched us all, but mainly a young boy. May 2016. Rest in peace, Harambe.
Harambe. This is huge. You remember this,
I
don't you, Damon?
remember. Yes, but
Damon
I don't
had
know the little
both
the
of
young
those
boy
t-shirts.
one.
Because the kid fell over his mom was not watching him or whatever, and he
Yep.
fell into this gorilla entrapment, and the gorilla Harambe grabbed the boy, and then they had to kill him.
Oh.
And people were outraged that there wasn't a better way to do it, and then the T-shirts started coming. And there's a phrase that we can't really say on the podcast. that
Hey, is the boy fine?
he survived. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was just that the fact that people were mad that there was probably a more humane way of doing it than killing the gorilla. Because if you watch the video, he wasn't like I mean, he was kind of playing with the kid, but he wasn't like killing him or anything.
Well, I remember everyone saying the mom should have been watching the kid.
Yeah,
Like that.
yeah. But it was a huge outrage for an ape at a zoo in Cincinnati. So that was in May of 2016. July
Oh,
of
gosh.
2016.
That was
Pokemon
2016.
Go.
Pokemon
4
Go.
years.
That was in 2006.
That was that far ago?
Yeah. Man
that long
arrested
ago?
at police
Wow.
station while playing Pokemon Go. Had a warrant out for his arrest in Milford.
What did he get arrested for?
What's he looking at?
Probably trespassing.
Probably trying to find his phone so he could play in the police station.
Yeah.
This was all over though. I remember like Dalton's dad, whatever, said there's kids out in my front yard
gosh.
playing Pokemon
live by
Go.
the
Yeah,
park.
I do
Yeah,
remember that.
yeah, like people all
Island
over.
Park, yeah.
And this is another one of those things where 2010s is like short attention span because this was like around and everyone was talking about it.
It did kind of
Disappeared.
first. Yeah, some people are still diehard, but it kind of just dropped off.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Did you ever play?
No.
Ethan?
Oh, I did. I definitely did.
We had the app because when we'd go exploring, we would just pull it out, and if the cops stopped us, we'd be like, "Oh, we're playing Pokemon Go or whatever."
Pokemon
You kind of have the colors.
sounded like a predator.
Well, I got the mustache, so
You do have red and gold on.
Yeah,
You kinda
I
like,
I would say one. It's a kind of like a random aside, but like I thought it was funny how like growing up, like my mom would always tell me, and I feel like it was extremely common among parents. Was don't sit too close to the TV or don't stare at the TV too long.
Yep.
Now we have VR, so we have a screen an inch away from our faces.
Right.
So it's like, wait, is it actually bad for you or no?
and it's a real thing. Kids' necks and adults, their necks and backs are being bad because they're slouched over looking at
Yep.
their phone. I was watching The Simpsons and it was hilarious because he was playing like Pokemon Go and he was like,
I like how
throwing
you
the
say
ball.
Pokemon.
He was throwing the ball at it and he's like, why can't I get this one? And he says like it's Skunkor or something. And then he gets sprayed by a skunk. It was real.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you got me saying Pokemon.
Pokemon.
Ethan's trying to get in a bando. Cops pull up. What are you doing? Playing Pokemon. Get in the back of the cop car.
May through June of 2017. The worst part of the 2010s. Can you guess?
The worst part in a 2-month span in 2017.
Some type of weather.
Oh
thing
my!
that
I
killed a
remember
lot
this
of
now.
people.
I wrote it earlier, but I forgot about it. Now I remember it. These things. It's a thing.
these things.
It's an actual object, like a thing you play with.
Fidget spinners.
Yep.
Yep.
The damn
Yep,
fidget
I
spinners.
knew it.
How to ground your child in 2017. There's a lock on a fidget spinner.
Yeah.
I hated those things.
I
From the
did
minute
too. I
they
didn't
came
like
out,
them.
everyone in school, 2 fingers, 4 fingers, like
And it made no sense. Like,
No.
like literally all it did was spin.
people went crazy though. I mean, if you got into the fidget spinner game in 2017, you were probably a millionaire now.
When you say it that way, that's funny too, because there's like kids like selling them like black market fidget spinners. Like,
Yeah.
hey man, need a fidget
got
spinner
'em on
for
the
$5? Yeah, that's like what
Black
it
or
was.
red.
He's got the big trench coat.
So that was in 2017, August 2017. Total eclipse, and no, not Bonnie Tyler. Total eclipse of the heart. An actual eclipse, once in a lifetime
picture is
astronomical event. The first time a solar eclipse
her.
was visible across the entire U.S. since June of 1918, and that's the actual picture NASA took. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And the sad thing, I don't remember seeing it or looking at it.
I don't remember either.
So
I remember knowing it was
Then-
going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Where we were, it didn't totally cross to make it all blackout. You had to be like in a certain path and travel to a
Oh, really?
certain area to do it.
Huh.
But I remember that song. It's funny you put that up there. Like sales on Apple or whatever, the music sites like just went bonkers.
Really?
For that song.
Everyone was buying it?
Yeah, everyone was like looking it up.
That's awesome. May of
we go.
2018, another one. Prince Harry of Sussex,
Sussex.
whatever, married Meghan Markle,
Yeah.
which might be. I don't even know where I was going with that. It's a royal wedding. I don't really care.
People
about
love
it.
them.
Yeah,
Apparently.
yeah. We could skip that one.
And
Adam
he,
secretly
and he
does.
looks just like Carson Wentz, and I can never get over
Yep,
that.
true.
You're right.
Banksy.
October of 2018, Banksy got us. This one did not feel like that long ago, but apparently it was 2 years ago. Banksy had his famous art.
Buddy, yeah.
Yeah, his famous art in the picture frame, and as soon as someone bought it for $1.4 million at auction, it shredded itself,
And now it's worth more.
and now it's worth twice as much. So he's a genius, and that.
Now you can tape a banana with duct tape on a wall and call it art, and people go bonkers.
True. Yeah. Well, wait till we get to the fashion portion.
Dude, Banksy's so good.
Here you go. April of 2019, Damon. First ever black
Hey, you
hole
put it
photo.
on here.
Yep, there's the photo, and it looks like a zoomed in picture of a belly button, but
Yeah.
You didn't put one of the events as the Wilder Demon spotting.
oh, my bad.
Hit the Wilder Demon.
That was another fun episode that we did.
Yeah, the
doing
Wilder
that,
Demon.
doing that outside too.
Yep. That was
Adam,
really fun.
which one?
Yeah, we did a lot of Wilder.
Well, the
Demon
one that I was
The
on.
initial
Yeah,
one.
the main, like that was the main
The
one.
malaria one.
All right, this is Vogue fashion portion of the podcast, the fashion of the 2010s. You guys are gonna love looking back at some of the
I
things,
hope some NBA players are in
some
here.
of the stuff that we
Russell-
all.
Russell
Yeah.
Westbrook.
I think
This
I
is
have this.
no, this is really from their website. This is stuff that apparently people in 2010 wore. So don't you guys remember seeing this on the streets?
I literally just saw that in Game of Thrones.
Yes, the one on the right.
It was all the wildlings. Like
Adam's the bomb. Now you're like, yeah.
I can,
How could we forget about this? We see this.
Wow. Yeah. She
Hey.
could jump off a building and like fly like a butterfly.
This looks like a horror movie mask, like the
like
Yeah,
Slender
it
Man.
does.
ice villain.
The Night King.
The lampshade and the red demon. These are a couple more.
That's another one. That's Melisandre.
You can't make this stuff up though. Vogue
It
did.
is. You're right.
Vogue did the top fashion of the 2010s from every year, and these are some of the ones I found. Like I cannot believe that people think that this is fashion.
Who was wearing this?
I honestly never understand fashion shows.
No.
Because that's exactly what it is. Like
Yeah.
you see all these random outfits, and then you will never see anybody on the street wearing those.
Yeah.
Is that Uzi? Oh, never mind.
Trying to be
That's
so.
something he'd wear for sure.
He's got red saran wrap wrapped around a fuzzy saran wrap purse. Here you got the, I don't even know, oink and boink, the green, and then a lamp, a
A
vase.
lamp.
All right,
An
forget about
hourglass.
the fashion.
All right, here we go.
So sports now, and I didn't put any text on here because I was hoping Adam could summarize these events for us.
Michael Phelps. I would assume that was when he set the record.
Yeah,
for
this is before the
most
whole
re-
scandal. Looking back at the 2012 Olympics, I'm pretty sure.
I think so. That was because that was in Beijing.
Yeah, Beijing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, 2000.
No, that was 2008.
2008
was in Beijing.
Yeah, this is 2012.
Was that in
wherever
Rio?
This was.
Or was
Rio.
Or was
I think.
Rio 16?
I don't remember. Michael Phelps. Either
It was-
way, drug user.
There we go.
Oh, the big
There we
three.
go. One of the greatest teams to ever play the game of
Is
basketball.
that 12 or 13, Adam?
This is 13, I'm pretty sure.
That's probably technically in like October of the next season because they don't get their rings till the next season.
Oh, okay.
But-
But it's from the 2013.
They made some
Hate
big
to
rings.
flex real quick. Oh yeah.
Those are awesome.
Got some big
so we
teams,
got
need some big
Dwayne Wade,
rings.
Chris Bosh, and LeBron James here, the Miami Heat All-Star team.
And that was huge because that was after LeBron had that hour special on ESPN of his decision.
Oh, of leaving
Yeah,
Cleveland?
because he was it 1 hour or was it 2? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
It was either an hour.
I remember it was super long, though.
It was either an hour or 2 special on ESPN, and it was just called The Decision. And LeBron was just talking about like everything, like basketball and all this stuff.
Dang.
And then at the very end, he goes, "I'm gonna take my talents to South Beach," and everyone's like, "Ah!"
And then Cleveland
the
went
Miami.
absolutely crazy.
The crazy thing is, all three of them were drafted in 2003.
Really? Wow. That was one
Picks
heck of a team.
1, 2, or was it 1, 2, and 4, or was it 1, 3?
No,
and 4?
1, 4, and 5.
Was it 1, 4, and 5?
Because
Darko Milicic went second.
and then Melo was third.
Melo was third. What a waste of a pick.
Hey, at least he's still playing. 2 on the left aren't.
Yeah, you know what's funny? They both have a ring. All right, keep going. Keep going.
What else happened here? Oh, an event that we just
Boston
talked about.
bombing.
The Boston Marathon bombing here. And what a crazy, not a great thing, obviously,
But an insane part of history.
an insane part of history from the 2010s. Yeah, you got to look back at that.
Oh,
Here we
Odell
go.
Beckham.
Iconic
One of the greatest
Odell
catches of all
Beckham,
time.
Junior catch here.
And he must have learned that from his mother from the streets of Wyndham.
Yep. I was about to
Start
include
there.
the picture of me and Colin with him on our street. That was unbelievable because his grandpa lives right down the street from us.
I'm gonna throw it. If you haven't watched Peyton's Places, it's an awesome show.
I've seen like one episode of it, but it's awesome.
so funny.
What's that about?
Like the
Like
history
Peyton-
of football, and he talks about something.
Oh,
like
really?
every,
Yeah.
15
Peyton
minutes.
Manning does it. It's
Really?
awesome.
Adam,
Wow.
would you say that's the greatest catch of all time from the NFL?
It's honestly so hard to say.
Did they win that game?
Well, because like pass interference was called on that play, and he still caught it. Did they win? It was the Cowboys, so probably. But then again,
They're the Giants.
Yeah, they're
Either
the
way, it's
Giants.
just an unbelievable. I remember when it happened. Because I wouldn't say he was unknown before, but he wasn't like he is now. That play made his whole career come out.
Because he was still a rookie or second year.
Because I want to say this was in 2016. He was drafted in 14. I think
Something like
so.
that.
So he was in his first or
But
second
I just remember,
year.
I didn't really hear about him until this. The only reason that we would have is because the Wyndham relation.
Well, I mean, he was drafted like 6th overall, but still, like this is what really made his career.
Yeah.
And that's
like,
a
really
big
well.
rival, too, Cowboys.
Oh yeah,
Giants,
yeah, that's
so.
huge.
Yeah. So that was a big one.
Let's try to make more of them next year.
The
Cubs break the streak.
I was in
What was that, 105 years?
105 years. Yeah, I was in at Wrigley when they won. The game wasn't in Wrigley, but I was there, and it was unbelievable.
You were at the parade, too.
I was at the parade, too, yeah. Unbelievable moments.
Oh, yeah.
And to be part of the energy and in the city of Chicago, people were just, everyone was getting along. It was crazy.
It was a national holiday.
Didn't care what religion, what race, and everyone was getting along. It was like a beautiful, I was really glad to be there for history in the making.
Opposite of the story when the guy put his hand out and stopped the ball, because that was, you know what I'm talking about. There's a whole documentary on that. That was bonkers too.
What was the guy's name?
I was trying to think of that too. What
the
his name?
headphones,
they
the
had to sneak him
glasses,
out
the
and-
turtleneck.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, there's a really good 30 for 30 on that.
Yeah, that's probably what I saw.
Really interesting. Floyd Mayweather and
Conor
McGregor fight here. That was another. I should have put the Pacquiao Mayweather fight.
Both of those were huge.
Yeah, these are both big boxing matches of the 2010s, and that was a good moment.
Tiger finally,
Woods.
not finally, but Tiger wins the Masters. That was huge.
Yeah, I remember that. This was
awesome.
when was that?
That was this year.
That was this year or last year now.
Yeah, 2019 is when he won.
Crazy moment. Just a huge comeback for a guy that everyone thought his career was over. Just not that long ago. When was the whole? Was that 4 years ago? 5 years ago?
Oh, the whole thing with his wife.
Yeah,
I think that was
crashing the van.
boy.
that was
drunk
that was
incident.
way before that. I think that wasn't that like 2012.
That was a while
Like
ago.
2013.
Yeah, but people said that's
Maybe
the
his
end of
back was
Tiger,
out.
and then he's back. I mean, unbelievable. So here we go.
Companies that
Companies
went
that
bye-bye.
went bye-bye. Can you
Toys
guys-
R Us.
All right, can you think of any more that are?
Blockbuster was before 2010, wasn't it?
Nope.
Gander Mountain.
I don't think it's just Gander Mountain and
Gordman's.
Well, these are like complete company gone, not just moved out. Let's see here. What do we got? Payless Shoe Source, completely gone. There was
honestly
one in
did
the
not know
Mankato
that.
Mall, literally just this year.
Zappos must have zapped them out.
Gone. There was literally just one in the Mankato Mall like a month ago.
Radio
It's
Shack's
just gone.
probably on here.
No, they're still open, aren't they? Or
I don't know if they're
or are
completely
they
gone.
officially
I'm only
closed?
putting companies that are completely
Let's see
gone.
okay.
Yeah, we'll see what else we got here. Jamboree. I know Adam's
Yeah, you know,
favorite
that was my favorite. That was my favorite place.
Taken from the Mankato Mall.
That
Looks like it.
yeah, that one. There was a Jamboree
Is
in
that a
Mankato
kid's
Mall. I don't know if it's like a girls. Yeah.
Hey, isn't Toys R Us coming back?
Toys
though?
R Us
I
is
think
back
they
though.
are,
Yeah, they are back. But it did go bankrupt in 2018.
Oh, Shopko's on here probably.
yeah, big one that I forgot.
Shop was not a very big company.
No, my bad. Yeah, Shopko's not on here. Ruby Tuesday, completely gone.
Really?
Yeah, another one.
Good song.
Not that long ago. I think it was in 2018 that they went gone. So that's done for. Sports Authority. Dick's took over,
Did they?
apparently, their market.
Shield.
Makes sense.
I remember when Sports Authority was really big. Like, they were everywhere. It was like the top of the line, but not obviously anymore. Old Country Buffet.
All of it went out? I didn't know that.
Yeah, yep. And are you talking Old Country Buffet or
Yeah.
Sports Authority? Yeah,
Old Country Buffet.
Buffet is gone.
Really?
Yeah. I remember the one in Mankato.
Mankato, yeah. Now
Iconic.
it's rings.
It's a
and-
couple different places, yeah, I think.
Oh, Wings and Rings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
RIP.
that. You know, I was always wondering what was there before, because like when
Old
I drive
Country
by, I'm
Buffet.
like, I know that wasn't there all the time.
No. Blockbuster.
Hate to see it. That was my favorite
There
place
actually
to go
is
growing
one
up.
left. There's one left in Alaska. There's one left.
In Alaska.
Yep, one Blockbuster video left. And so that there's probably a lot of good. You probably got some stories about Blockbusters, Damon.
I remember going into them to get movies. Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
you have
yeah.
to make
I
sure
love
that they're
Blockbuster.
on
I
there.
remember going to the Wyndham movie.
Grabbing the one
rental
and-
store all
Videos
the
and
time.
Beyond.
Grab the one, and you have to like read the description
Yeah.
to make sure it's something that you actually want to watch.
I mean, the
Yeah.
best was like every small gas station had their video section in a gas station too.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
you like go there and
You could still find those once in a while. I know Lakefield has a little video rental store inside there.
it was a big commitment. You had to look at all those VCR tapes.
You take time to look
Yeah,
through
it was
them.
a big
Yeah.
commitment.
Had to find Munchie.
Munchie. Yeah.
Gotta watch that. Threw in a Wyndham local one.
Wyndham local. Adam, you forgot
That's
about
right there with Blockbuster.
No,
Yeah.
the ladies that ran that were super nice.
Oh
I
yeah,
really-
no, I'm not trying to knock
Yeah,
anybody.
yeah.
Got ink tattoo. I just having some fun. What was your favorite part of the 2010s?
I was actually kind of sad that they painted over the birds. Actually.
yeah, the birds are iconic.
Yeah.
Damon, you put those up, right?
Yeah. No, that wasn't me.
Yeah. So to finish it off here, favorite part of the 2010s. Looking back at it, I mean, we kind of brought this up before, but we didn't really say favorite part. To me, well, if anyone could think of something, I'm kind of thinking right now.
Well, I mean,
Favorite
mine are probably all going to be sports
personal one,
related
or-
because like the sports related ones are the biggest ones that stick with me. I can think of two off the top of my head, and like I said, they're all going to be sports moments. I can think of a bunch, but
I'm waiting for
one
him
of
to say he
them,
met the one.
Oh.
That he's gonna get married to.
one of them, I would definitely say one of the greatest football plays that I've ever seen in my life, the Minneapolis Miracle.
Oh, the Minneapolis Miracle.
Granted, we got pounded the next
Wish
week.
they would have won the next.
And
Didn't
that-
matter. We beat the Saints. That was
See,
awesome.
well, it sucked because the week after was like the worst experience ever. Because
Yeah.
I was at Rutgers, and like everybody from South Jersey is big Philly fans. So when I watched the game, I had my Vikings jersey on. Me and my buddy were at a B-Dubs, we were in like New Brunswick or something. But everybody there is an Eagles fan, and I walk in there, whatever Vikings score the first drive, I'm like, all right, it's over for everybody else. Like
Yeah.
like nobody talked to me, and then the Eagles score 38 straight points.
Yeah.
I probably had 10 people come up to my table and start saying stuff to me.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
like, I'm just trying to watch the game. Like,
Yeah.
like I'm not calling the plays. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then besides
That's
that,
too bad.
LeBron winning his first ring because
Wow.
that needed to happen.
Dang. What about you, Colin? Favorite moment?
I don't know. I'm still thinking. I'll
Yeah.
pass it over to Damon.
Are these like personal moments? Because like personally, it was I moved back to Wyndham this decade, and I got my job at Rainbows, and now I really enjoy what I do. So
Yeah.
personally, it's working with kids.
Yeah,
and
yeah. And
horses.
there's so many
And,
like things that happen.
But like, and what could have happened? Like big stories. I take into account. I didn't really say any at the beginning, but all the catastrophes and stuff that happened. That people got together, and like the hurricane was your first one on here, and got together and tried to rebuild as much as can, or like help out things like that.
People coming
Like,
together.
to keep people to coming together to keep for a positive one. And then
Oh, yeah.
for me, it's impossible not to think about the social media aspect and the relations of people.
Yeah.
Not to get deep or anything, but
Yeah.
it's not slamming it or anything. It's just like I'm
Yep.
gonna say harnessing it when it comes into the next decade.
Well, and for me specifically with the videos and everything, I mean, I think like one of the biggest things for me in the past 10 years was definitely like the advancement of social media, YouTube, Facebook, because I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing if it weren't for that.
Positive thing.
So it's positive in that manner for me that I use it all the time, and I'm always trying to figure out new ways to use it.
Exactly. And it's like interesting to see like that it hasn't changed a lot since the early 2000s when you have like the Fox song and the Gangnam Style. It's easy to forget that it's like it hasn't really spun out of control. It's just like there, you know.
Yeah. And we've always had crazy dumb things online. It's always going to be there. Yeah. But there's always positive ways to look at things. So, Colin, can you think of anything?
I don't know. I like using Instagram and Snapchat a lot. I just think it's cool seeing the growth of that, like the startup and then what it's come to now. Mm-hmm. And like for Ethan and I going to all these abandoned places, it's cool interacting with other explorers from all over the country.
To meet people.
Yeah,
social
meeting
media
up with
has been
a ton
huge.
of people.
Yeah.
Do you use Facebook that much anymore? Because like Facebook has changed so much
I go
in
on
10 years.
Facebook every day.
I haven't got on Facebook in at least a year.
Really?
Yeah.
I use Facebook all the time just to share videos and stuff.
I do. I have to for work for the same reasons.
Yeah.
And that's a positive too, like sharing events. And
I mean,
that does bring people together.
It's the best way to get information out there because everybody.
But now it's so many ads
Facebook.
too and stuff. And like
it
sponsored.
is.
And like when it was originally, it was just you like talking to your friends and stuff and stuff. But now it seems.
It is. It's ads are like we talked about in the beginning. They're gonna get out of hand.
It's a good point, Ethan, though, too, because like you use it for like what we use it for here, doing the podcast, get the word out, things like that. And
hearing from people.
Like if you use it the right way, it's good.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, and to kind of get in the end here of the podcast, predictions for the next decade, the 2020s, because now we're in the roaring 20s.
We're gonna see some crazy cars, that's for sure.
Crazy cars.
I was thinking about that. We have to think of another name for roaring because it was used, but everyone's using it.
Everyone's using it again.
I think one thing that I could definitely see happening is something to where like holograms are actually going to become like prominent, maybe not in like everyday life, but like. Or like you know how in like Star Wars for example,
I was about to bring
right?
That up, yeah.
Like when R2-D2 like gives a message from Princess Leia, like it just like projects it right there and shows it.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe not like FaceTime will become that advanced, but something sort of like that.
I could see
believe it.
FaceTime getting that advanced.
Actually, you know what? To be fair, if anybody's gonna do it, it's gonna be Apple.
Yeah.
With
Or
FaceTime.
Google.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna have some technology where
they can project
the
themselves.
VR, you're looking in your house and they're sitting on your couch with you or whatever, even though they're not there, and you can talk to them. Like,
well, and that's kind of like the whole thing that VR has, where like you can be like sitting courtside at an NBA game.
Oh, yeah.
I have always wanted to try that. Actually, I think that looks so cool.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't imagine sitting there and just looking around, but then couldn't interact with anybody, so I'd be confused.
yeah.
I'd be reaching out to dap with LeBron, and he's just running by. I'm like, all right.
Yeah. No, I think that's a really good point. I think I was gonna say holograms too, or something to that effect, where like, how do you bring interaction to like the third dimension or whatever? Like that's gonna be what it is. There's gonna be really crazy advancements in technology. What about sports predictions like Super Bowl?
The XFL's gonna come blasting in
around
and
here
it's gonna
in
take over the
2020.
NFL.
That's a bold one.
Sports wise, I mean it's not very big, but like that. I think that the NBA is gonna get rid of making you go to college. They're gonna let you go right out of high school. I think that the NFL, their contracts are all gonna be fully guaranteed. Instead of now how a lot of them are partially guaranteed, unless you're the Vikings offering a certain quarterback. But I don't think that like any like extreme changes are going to happen in the sports world besides like little rules like that. I think if anything, replay is going to continue to be used more and more. And the thing that I'm worried about that I feel like could definitely happen in the MLB is if they go to the robot robot umpires to call balls and strikes. I think that would be a nightmare.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
I think that in principle it sounds like a good idea, but when you actually try to use it, I don't think that it'll work out the way that everybody thinks that it will.
No. That is scary. They're using technology way too much, over analyzing plays and stuff, and they're still getting them wrong. I mean, look what happened just the other day in college football. They got the play wrong even after reviewing. It was that Alabama and who was that?
It was Alabama,
Clemson or something.
Oh no, the Ohio State Clemson. That's what it was.
Yeah.
When the receiver caught the ball, took 3 steps, then got stripped.
Yeah, and then they still got the play wrong after reviewing it, which is crazy.
And it gets kind of frustrating watching like college, or I watch more NFL. Like there's such a gray area of what the rule actually is, even when you're replaying it and watching it.
Adam, are the college football athletes getting paid yet? Did they decide on that? I think that'll happen.
So that won't take effect until, I want to say 2021. Because like they're not going to get paid directly from the NCAA.
But they can take sponsorship.
Yeah, so like they're allowed to like use like their likenesses because like there was like the one kicker or punter. I don't remember what team he played for, but he made YouTube videos about like how to punt and stuff, and like he was profiting from YouTube. I don't think it was that much because it's not like he was getting 100 million views every punting video.
Yeah.
But the NCAA basically said, all right, well, you have to choose to either keep playing college football or like pursue like this YouTube career.
That's crazy.
Because he was making money from YouTube. He was like, all right, well, I'm not gonna play football anymore. So he stopped playing college football to like continue making these videos.
Wow.
So and I think stuff like that is dumb. Like it's not like he put it on YouTube to make money.
No,
he put it for the fun of it. You know, he's not gonna be like, YouTube, please don't pay me. For my videos.
Yeah, it's dumb. So that'll be something that'll be
that'll be huge. That'll be really nice because I think that doing it that way, like with the sponsorships, I think that it'll help because if the NCAA was just going to pay players, all the big programs like for basketball, like Duke, Kentucky, don't get me wrong. Yeah, like don't get me wrong. Like they do stuff under the rug, like obviously, you know. But if they had the option to pay them, the strong programs are going to keep on getting stronger, and the small ones are going to be non-existent. You know, and I think that since now it's just based on like your own individual ability and not like the school you go to. I think that'll be nice for the players.
True.
And it'll actually make them want to stay longer instead of just being one and done.
Yeah.
Like a lot of these guys are.
True. What about Super Bowl win this year?
This year, Ravens are going to come out of the AFC for sure.
Yep.
Because the
Bills. Oh, I got the.
The only Bill that's going to the Super Bowl is Bill Belichick. All right.
That's a good one.
No,
dude, they're not.
I hope the Patriots get washed week 1. They're not gonna because they play the Titans. But it'll be Ravens.
Well, hey, what happened with Miami?
Okay,
that was the biggest upset of the year. That was the biggest.
It was.
Upset
It was
of the year.
huge.
That was the biggest upset of the year.
See, that's because Brady's lost it. But it'll be Ravens against probably the Saints. Ravens Saints or Ravens Seahawks. I hope the Ravens win.
49ers.
You don't want another miracle?
If we're talking personal preference, the Vikings win the Super Bowl by 50. You know, but I'd be surprised if the Vikings made it past the Saints.
2020, keep dreaming. I mean, I love Minnesota.
Did you see that one stat about that ref, the head ref that's reffing the game? Oh, it's like 90% the Saints win when he's reffing in New Orleans.
Sounds about right.
Jeez.
It's like Joey Crawford.
Yeah.
In the NBA with LeBron.
Jeez.
Well, about time we get screwed over by the refs again when we're playing the Saints.
Yeah.
Well, 2010's been all right.
Yeah. And I'm gonna go on record. I want the Vikings to win like Adam would, but I'm gonna say go underdog and go with the Bills.
Bills
Super
winning?
Bowls. Yep.
I think the Texans
Adam's
are gonna pull it off.
Texans
are the most inconsistent team.
One of us. The Bills play the Texans.
I was gonna say.
I want it to be Ravens 49ers. I hope I would
be
like
a good one.
Ravens 49ers.
I don't think the Niners are as good as their record says.
No.
I think Jimmy G is a slightly better Tom Brady, and Tom
we
Brady's
could probably all agree at this table that we don't want the Patriots to go or win. So that's something we can
or the Eagles.
Yeah.
I'd rather have the Patriots
Eagles
win than the Saints or Eagles or Seahawks.
I'd rather have any team.
Or the Packers.
No, I'd rather have any team win than the Patriots for sure.
Except for the Eagles. The Eagles are my least favorite team in the league.
Yeah, I hate the Eagles.
Or the Packers, of course. That'd be horrible.
Dude, it goes Eagles or the worst.
There's a lot of good storylines.
Their fan base.
There is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be really interesting.
Got the revenge stories. And
Yeah.
The Young Dynasty.
Like I said, 2020 going to be a good year. 2020s are even going to be better. So we're going to keep up with the podcast here. And we're going to, like I said, one of these upcoming episodes, we're going to do a Malaysia Flight 370. We're going to talk about that. So we'll have to do some research and figure out who'd be someone that we come on and could talk to about that. Maybe Handsome would be
they spent a lot of time looking for them, too.
They did, yeah. It's crazy. Looking back at all this stuff, it just seems some of it feels a long time ago, some of it doesn't feel a long time ago. You know, it's weird.
It's funny you say that because I don't want to keep dragging it on here, but cleaning stuff out the other day, like, and going through stuff, and like sometimes I can't believe, like, oh my gosh, that was like 8 years ago, and it feels like yesterday, and then sometimes it feels like longer away.
It does, yeah.
I mean, it's just like
And 2010 still feels like last year to me. I mean, it's weird, but 2010 just doesn't feel that long ago.
Cliche, but it goes fast. It goes by fast.
It does, yeah, it does. So thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you, Adam, so much for coming out.
Good luck. Thank you for having me back.
Adam's headed back to Morris now on Monday, so good luck, Adam, with everything there.
Those fourth graders.
The fourth graders. Good luck with the fourth graders.
I am the Greg Popovich of fourth graders.
And thank you, Colin and Damon, so much for coming on and helping with the podcast every week. It means a lot. Thank you to the viewers, listeners, watchers, everyone at home. we really appreciate everyone for tuning in and being with us for this long. So we will keep it up next week. Not sure what we're going to do, but it'll be another interesting episode of the podcast show. So thanks everyone for watching. This is the Clerc Podcast Show.